Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet this week's honorary captains. Our first honorary captain was named All-Area by the Peoria Journal-Star twice and All-Conference in the Mid-Illini twice. In 2002, his senior year, not only was he named All-Area by the Panagraph and first-team All-Stater, he was Football Player of the Year in both the Peoria Journal-Star and Panagraph. He is married to his wife Candace, and they have two kids, Jet and Max. Fans, please welcome number 40, Rick Elvis. Our second honorary captain was an all-conference member in the Mid-Illini his junior and senior year. And in 2001 was all-area in the Peoria Journal-Star his junior and senior year. His junior year, he was able to bring in some basketball accolades as well, being named Team Most Valuable Player and All-Conference. His senior year, he was given the Jim Gabrick Award for the MTHS Male Athlete of the Year. And after his time in Metamora, he joined the Army and is currently a police officer in Bloomington. Fans, please welcome number 30, Luke Bauer. Metamora has won the toss and has deferred. Limestone will receive the opening kickoff.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Redbird Replay. This is Scott Kirker along with the coach, John Helmick. Colton Kaler on the sideline tonight. Coach, Metamora's come into this game 3-0. They've played three pretty good games. They play a Limestone team that comes in 0-3, but they're still dangerous.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough game. You can overlook this game very easily by looking down the road and seeing who's next. You can't let the team do that. You got to make them know that this is an important game. You need this game to get better, execute better, run your offense, run your defense better, and keep your head in this game. And it's tough. It's tough to prepare for.
Metamora gets ready to come onto the field. You know, we talked a little bit last week, and we talked about it in the Pat Ryan show, but that win that we had week 2 against Rock Island may come out to be a pretty big win for Metamora because they went out last week and beat a really good Peoria Central team, and they could roll. They could go 7-2.
Yeah, you know, that was kind of a shocker when they beat Central. And hopefully it told us that we're a pretty good ball club.
Yeah.
We beat a team that beat Peoria Central, and Central is not bad. They've got some good athletes and good players, and Rock Island has some good athletes and good players. Maybe they just waited a week to put it together. Who knows?
Yeah. Why don't we take this time and talk to the Metamora offensive coordinator, Nick Dolinsky.
Hey, this is John Helmick interviewing Nick Dolinsky before the Limestone ball game. Nick, how'd you come out of it injury-wise last week?
Well, besides for Drew Damery's leg, we came out pretty healthy. And Drew's going to have surgery Monday morning. They had to go and put a plate and a pin in the broken leg. But they're 6 to 8 weeks, so they're pretty optimistic about, heal time. And they're going to be pretty clean when they get in there. They just got to check and see if there's any other ligament damage. Because if there isn't, then it's, it's pretty much
just healing time.
Cutting healing time, but otherwise they'll have maybe a little bit more work to do.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about tonight. What are you guys going to have to do to win this ball game?
Well, we're going to have to keep doing what we've been doing offensively, which is, using all of our skill kids and making sure the O-line's doing their job. And they've done a real good job up to this point, and this is just another test in the season. So, it's about us getting better. Limestone's 0-3, but they've got some skill kids that can be dangerous on offense, and then defensively they can make enough plays, enough negative plays to get you off, from behind the chains, and once they get you off count, then they can blitz and do a lot of things. So we got to stay ahead of the chains, take the throws when we get them, and make sure that we're moving positive with piles.
Is there anything you can do special to get ready for a game like this? Because I know human nature looks ahead a couple of weeks, but is there anything you can do tonight to get the kids ready and make sure they don't overlook Limestone?
Well, I think that we're only a year removed from being 0-4 at this point, 0-3, looking to try to get off the schneid. So I think there's plenty of internal motivation to keep going. But, we just keep harping on them. It's not about necessarily always who you're playing. It's about making sure you get better each day and, use each game. And, we all know it, and we're coaches, and you're a coach, and a lot of ex-players in the crowd. This game goes by in a hurry.
Yes,
and,
it does.
You don't get to, it's not like a basketball game where you can go play a pickup game very often on a Wednesday night, or get a bunch of guys together and go play slow pitch softball. You don't get many of these games.
Yeah,
It's over. So you got to enjoy and cherish and not let any of them sneak by you.
Yeah, you wait all year to play, and then all of a sudden the season's over.
Yeah, it's over in a hurry. There's no doubt.
And it could be faster if you don't play well.
Yep.
Well, good luck tonight, Nick, and we hope you do well and hope the team gets better.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll do our best.
Well, welcome back to Malone Field. Well, Coach, you had a chance to talk to Nick, and you kind of get the feeling that they're waiting to just kind of start break open this offense a little bit, because they can do some things.
Yeah, he mentioned tonight they're going to try to use more of their personnel, more of their skill kids. They've got those kids to use, and they got somebody that can get them the ball, and you better start using it to get the experience so that when you have to use it, it's there.
Yeah, and Metamora last week, we probably had to pull back a little bit because of the weather. I think everybody did. But it rained the entire game last week over at East Peoria. So, tonight would be a good night, because we've got some big games coming up with Dunlap and Morton and probably a pretty decent Pekin team.
Yeah, it's a good night to show a few more things, and maybe even a few things that you really don't have, but put them in there so that the scouts see them.
Make them think.
Make them practice against it all week. That takes away from practice time when they have to worry about something else. So, it's a good game to get better at what you do well and get experience at doing it. You hate to wait till that ball game when you have to have it and you've never done it.
Ryan Vogel tees it up to start this week 4 already.
Once it starts, it goes in a hurry. It really does.
And Vogel kicks it pretty high and deep. I believe that was number 10, Dustin George. And there's a flag, and they may get Metamora for something here.
Could have been a little talking, stop that early, Personal foul. Metamora.
So that'll move it out to about the 45.
Sometimes you get in a ball game like this, and we had it with Olympia one year. Things go wrong. They just seem to go wrong the whole ball game. There's nothing you can do to change it, no matter how bad the other team is. So you got to be careful. You can't.
You can't let this snowball. So the Limestone will come out. Warren Peacock back on the Limestone sideline. So they're going to throw the ball a little bit. And I believe Metamora got the fumble. Metamora got it, recovered by Metamora. So you got it. That was John Nelson in on the recovery. I'm not sure who knocked it free, but pretty big gain by Limestone, and Nelson comes right with the ball. So Metamora will go on offense. 17 seconds into this ball game.
Big play, and they turn against them.
Yeah. So the Redbird offense comes onto the field. One out to the far side, 2 receivers to this side.
Everything seemed to be pretty well covered. He overthrew the man, which is probably good, because you underthrow that and it's 6 points the other way.
Yeah. Ben Bachmann getting his first action of the year. He was out with a broken collarbone.
Second and 10
Second and 10 for the Redbirds. Pretty Pretty nice run. Pickup of about 5. Brings up a 3rd and 5.
That's one of their bread and butter plays. You'll see that one a lot. And you'll see the quarterback keep off that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's short yardage. Short.
Vogel on the carry. That's a pickup of about 2 yards. I don't see any action on the sideline for the Redbirds. I think they'll bring on their punt unit.
Here they come.
Oh, Metamora's going for it. That's confidence in your defense. And that'll be a first down. Yeager fights up close to the 50-yard line. That's a nice job by the Redbird offensive line to create a pretty big hole. That's confidence in your defense, though.
Yeah, you got to feel, too, that they think they can run against Limestone, because obviously that run was right at them. There was nothing tricky about it.
No. First and 10, Redbirds. Intended for Bachmann. He was pretty well covered, though.
Yeah, they were hoping that they'd play the bubble screen. The wide receiver backed up to fake the bubble screen, hoping they'd bring somebody up and then throw it in behind him. So Limestone didn't bite on it. Brings up
a 2nd and 10.
On the other hand, you might throw the bubble screen. There's nobody covered him. Ooh.
And he'll cross the 50, pickup of about 3 yards, brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Redbirds.
The 2 tight ends now, Cassup and the sophomore Bagol.
Yeah, along with Ben Bachmann. He kind of plays a little bit of a tight end. Bagol will probably go to like an H-back if he's in. And that didn't go anywhere. And that'll bring on the Redbird punt unit. That's the first time we haven't scored on our first possession this year.
Huh. You know, for further reference, nobody went with the quarterback on that after he made the fake. He was up by himself outside.
And that'll go dead at about the 19, yeah. First and 10 for the Rockets as they get the ball for their second possession. .8:34 to go. First quarter, still no score. It's a pickup of about 4 yards.
When's the last time you've seen that lineup for an offense? Pro eye.
No, that actually was pickup of 5. Makes it 2nd and 5.
The backs divided and gave it to the second back, and now we're pulling them out of history.
30 years ago, everybody ran that.
Yeah, you're right.
That's an incomplete pass. Nice coverage by, is that Aaron Zoller?
He had, Limestone had 3 guys in the pattern, 1 short, which he threw to, but the one in the middle, about 10 yards deep, was wide open, number 2. So
brings up a 3rd and about 5.
there's all kinds of movement over there. There's 3 guys moving at once.
Pretty easy call.
Yeah. They were trying to get lined up out there, and they snapped the ball.
So that makes it a 3rd and 10 for the Rockets. Right on their 20-yard line. Actually, it's about their 19. And he'll be sacked. Good coverage by the Redbird defense. And
Pattern's not well run. They had 2 guys together down here on the deep outs.
Dathan Reynolds in on the sack. And the Redbirds will get really good field position. So the Redbirds will start in Limestone territory.
Can't ask for anything better than that.
That's almost like a turnover.
It's called good defense.
Yeah. 6:56 to go here in this first quarter. No score. Oh, John Gatton just went up and got that pass.
Between 2 defenders, he made a great catch. He took it away from him.
And that'll set the Birds up at about the 8-yard line.
I thought for sure it was going to be intercepted, but he went up and took it away from both those Limestone players.
So it's 1st and goal for the Redbirds at the 8-yard line. Oh, tried to hit Bagol across the middle. I like that play, but that was pretty well covered.
Yeah, you can't force that ball in there, not down in the goal line. You throw it away if nothing else, because you don't want to turn it over and lose it.
Yeah. You get down this far, you need to get a score.
That's a play we haven't seen all year, though.
No.
The fake counter and look back to the backside.
That's a little waggle pattern by the tight end.
Right. Uh-oh. Limestone was playing that play, weren't they?
Yeah, that was intended to John Nelson. We need to...
if he had tipped that ball higher and straight ahead, he'd intercepted it.
Oh, I believe he's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, yeah.
Yep, touchdown, Metamora. Nice job by Tommy Hall to read that, and he just kind of weaved his way through and got it in.
Yeah,
Redbirds go up. Sorry about that. Redbirds go up 6-0. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, they fake their favorite play, the counter. And when he does that, he's got all day to make up his mind which way he wants to go. And he just picks a hole, works his way upfield. He's big and strong enough to break a tackle, too.
Is that going to be on us? Yep, that's going to be movement on us. Looked like the interior lineman kind of flinched and Limestone jumped across. That shouldn't make any difference for Vogel.
No, it should not. It should be a chip shot no matter what.
John Geyer in to snap it. Zach Beanblossom to hold it. Ryan Vogel for the extra point here. No good.
Wow.
So the Redbirds take advantage of that short field, go down and get the score.
Yeah, that's important. When you get a chance like that, you've got to take advantage of it and put some points on the board, even if it's only 3. You let them you don't score, you let them get the ball back, and that's a momentum change.
Yeah, and wish we could have gotten that extra point there, but
we haven't exactly been automatic on extra points this year, have we?
No.
And with such a good kicker, you wonder why.
It's a new snapper. Beanblossom's held for him, though he held last year, so they'll get that straightened out.
Well, it could mean a ball game someday.
And he kicks it into the end zone. So we know he's got the leg.
Yeah. When you make him start on the 20, you're ahead of the game.
So Limestone have their 3rd possession of the game. They'll start on their own 20-yard line.
No backs.
That was tipped at the line, wasn't it?
It looked like it must have been because it wasn't near anybody.
Makes it a 2nd and 10 from the 20. 6:16 to go. First quarter.
We could be here all night if both teams throw the ball, especially if Limestone throws it every play.
And we had a late start. Freshman game went a little long, so yeah, we may be here by Sunday. May not need the lights to finish this game. Oh, that's good defense there. Gatton, I think, knocked it away, but Metamora was able to get a lot of pressure.
Yeah, they forced him to throw on the run. And
I think that was Joe Burge.
He could not pull up and throw it. Once you start throwing like that and throwing across your body, then it's up for grabs. It's pickup. Interception time.
Zach Poston, sophomore, comes in for, I think it's Zoller. 3rd and 10 for the Rockets.
Oh, nice catch. Nice catch. Number 8 deflected it, trying to catch it, and 2 came through and caught the deflection.
So that'll be a first down for the Rockets. 6 minutes to go, first quarter.
Showed a little quickness, didn't he? That was a draw. He dropped back to pass. On the way back, he handed the ball off to the up back, and
he got it out to about the 48-yard line.
When you throw that much and spread the field, you get that ball to the back on a draw, and he's got a lot of room to run up there. You don't need great blocks. You just need kind of shields.
Another pass. It looks like maybe that was deflected.
Well, I think that time what happened was the receiver wanted to run a post, and the defensive man wouldn't let him inside, so he went back outside. Well, the quarterback threw it inside, thinking he was going to run the post.
That brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Rockets.
So it was a good defense by Ryan.
You got 3 receivers to this side, 1 to the top side.
Oh.
He slipped. There's been a lot of slipping tonight. We noticed in the freshman game, quite a few kids slipped.
Yeah, one of them was going to score an extra point down here.
Yeah.
He turned the corner, nobody in front of him, and he slipped. Didn't get
Legs
him.
went right out from under him.
Yeah.
3rd and 10 for the Rockets.
This kind of weather, you get some dew on the ground or whatever, it gets a little wet out there, and the ball gets a little slippery.
5:14 to go. First quarter, Redbirds up 6-0. Oh, nice. Nice job by Logan McClure to come across. Pretty clean hit.
That's the price you pay catching the ball over the middle.
Yep.
And he's hurt too. He's down on one knee now.
Well, you don't want him to be hurt, but you definitely don't want him to come across the middle of the field without having to pay for it.
Yeah, you want him to know you're there.
Yeah. I hope it's just maybe the wind got knocked out of him. Nothing serious. I think he'll be fine. Alex Rupp. Boy, it seems like they've had a Rupp on their team every year that they've had football, haven't they?
That's a name in Carbondale too. There's a lot of Rupps down there.
So that'll send in the punt unit for the Rockets. Metamora brings out their punt return. It'll be Poston and Vogel back deep for the Redbirds. Oh, nice. That's a pretty good hit by both Vogel and number 34 for Limestone, Cole Tanner. So the Redbirds will have the ball on their own 28-yard line.
It's so important for him to catch that too, because hits a line drive. He doesn't catch that ball's bouncing back inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Next time you might want to fair catch it. He passes his coverage.
That's a nice first down carry, and he'll get a first down out across the 40 to the 41. Just got right in Eric Reinerson's hip pocket and just followed him around the corner.
Yeah, by the time you run around Reinerson, you got
you got 6 or 7 yards there.
You can cut and get more. He's a big person. We'll do it the other way.
Ooh, pretty nice open field tackle. Number 6, Ben Hibbard, excuse me. Brings up a 2nd and about 7 for the Redbirds. Good to see Ben Bachmann back. He worked awfully hard this offseason.
How'd he get hurt?
He broke his collarbone, and he broke it last year. Oh, and I think he's going to have a first down. Austin Yeager fought. He got across the 50 to the 49 of Limestone, and I think that's going to be enough for a Redbird first down.
He's quick, and he stops and goes and in and out and up and down. Did he break his collarbone in football?
He originally broke it last year, the first game of the year, so he was out the whole year, and then he re-broke it in a 7-on-7.
Oh, okay.
And then he broke it again later in the summer.
Oh, boy. That's the time.
A nice move by Gatton. And Gatton's home free, and he could score a touchdown. What a move by John Gatton.
Yeah, he caught that ball and made the kid miss on the first one. From then on, it was just a foot race. He outran the Limestone team to the goal line. He's a nice-looking athlete.
Yeah, that was a lot of things. Yeah, that was pretty nice. So the Redbird, I think they'll go for 2 as they bring on their offense.
Yeah, I think they're talking to the quarterback.
It's 12-0 Redbirds.
A lot of times the coach will have an automatic 2-point play. And no matter what happens when you get that opportunity, you know what the play is, you go out and run it.
And the offense comes back onto the field. 8 seconds to go, now down to 5. And Metamora's going to have to take a timeout.
Metamora takes their first timeout.
This is the type of play that he fakes that counter and keeps it up inside himself.
Should be wide open. Or do you ride him and ride him again, and hopefully that backside tight end will be open? It's awful tough to do this close.
You know, as tight as they are, evidently they're not going to run that type of play. They're going to try to run outside or off tackle or something, but they were packed in there pretty tight on the goal line. Scott Bartell, who was on the message board a while ago, he was a holder for 2 or 3 years, and he had a knack of drawing the other team off sides. And as soon as he did, we sent our offense in, we went for 2. It was automatic. You know, it happened so often that, you know, we'd had a 2-point play.
That's just another extra point.
Yeah.
So here comes the Redbird offense. And Tommy's going to get in for the extra point. Right? Yeah. He did exactly what you said. He just got in behind those linemen and just kind of leaned forward.
Right. He's strong enough to break 1 tackle.
Well, they're not getting really, it's arm tackles that he's having to break, so it's kind of nice.
Well, he doesn't get in a big hurry and try to run through anybody. You know, he can cut either way and use his blockers, and sees a little seam here, a little gap there, uses it and gets in.
Redbirds go up 14-0. 3:25 to go, first quarter.
Pekin 7, Morton nothing.
Ball goes back into the end zone again. A few scores early on in the games in the Middle Illini. Pekin over Morton 7-0.
Right, 7-0. Washington's ahead also. Notre Dame's ahead. No, I think Notre Dame's playing at the Chief Ballpark tonight, aren't they? That's the annual game.
Yeah, who are they playing?
I think Richwoods.
Richwoods, yeah. I think there'll be about 150 people there.
Yeah, maybe. That's how many were there last night. 21-0 end of the first quarter.
Who?
Notre Dame.
So Limestone will get the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And I think they're going to get called for motion.
Boy, those plays are back in my era. The ISO lead by the fullback.
So that'll back him up to the 15-yard line. 3:22 to go. Was that ball caught?
Yeah, it was deflected by the first receiver and caught by the second receiver.
So they've caught 2 deflected balls.
Yeah, maybe it's planned. Little volleyball action out there, huh? And it's because one receiver was in the wrong area. He was right next to the one he was throwing to.
One of those is going to get picked. I can see an interception coming up here. Have we gotten one yet this year?
I don't remember. Yeah, Metamora's going to be pretty tough to just line up with and run right at them.
Yeah.
You know, they're bigger and stronger than Limestone. I would think Limestone would need more to finesse. You know, the rollout passes, some type of an option attack where you don't have to block everybody.
Brings up a 3rd and about a yard.
I think sometimes this type of offense is good just to keep the clock running, hope to keep the score down.
And give yourself a chance.
Right at the end.
Quarterback sneak.
That used to be against the rules. 8 a runner.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen it called in a state championship game and called a touchdown back because of it.
So I'd give him a 1st down on the 40-yard line. That's about an 11-yard gain. And they had him in the backfield.
Do you give that to half the yards to the line, half the yards to the back?
Yeah.
The guy's pushing. He's got to get some air into that if he's going to complete that. He threw a line drive, and it's pretty tough to catch it with a guy in your face on defense. That type of a pass, you got to get it up higher and let the guy run to it. It's good defense right there with him, man to man, running around step for step. Is that Moore over there?
Moore. Jack Moore.
Yeah.
2nd down 10.
Just having an abundance of backs. I don't even see Gatton in there, and he's one of the better ones.
I think that Jack Moore is in for him right now, giving him a breather.
That's good you can do that.
That's pretty good defense. I can't see who that is on the bottom. Is that Logan McClure? And Connor Burnett.
McClure
and Burnett, yep, in on that tackle. That's nice defense. That'll be a loss of about 1.5 yards.
I don't think that, running right straight at Metamora is not going to do it unless you're just doing it to eat up the clock.
Draw the backers in maybe a little bit as we close in on 1 minute to go here in this 1st quarter. It's been a long 1st quarter. Redbirds up 14-0. Pretty good job by Gatton to slow him down. He had help after that from Kyle Bartman and Connor Burnett to bring up a 4th and about 8.
It's a good run by the back who caught the ball. He broke the tackle and kept on going.
Yeah. Brings it 4th and 8 for the Rockets. And that'll bring their punt unit on and the Redbird return team on. Vogel and Poston back deep for the Redbirds. And that'll go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
Metamora is late in covering that wide receiver over there, and Limestone didn't pick it up. Guy was standing next to the sideline with nobody on him, wide open.
Keysweater came on late.
Yeah.
He might be a substitute, though, for somebody that's over there.
Those are little things that can hurt you, and at times during the year, you've got to make sure that doesn't happen again.
23 seconds to go. 1st quarter. Redbird offense comes onto the field up 14-0.
You'd be surprised how many coaches don't instruct their punter to notice those types of things. There's nobody out on him. Raise up and throw him the ball.
That's probably why Pat always has his quarterback be the punter.
Helps.
That's a nice first down play. Nice block by Gatton out on the wing. Brings up second and about 1 yard. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Take this time to thank our sponsors: Snyder Village, Sunbelt Rentals, Michael's Italian Feast, Metamora IGA, Metamora McDonald's, Metamora Fields Golf Club, Mason Funeral Homes, Logoware, Hanover's Pub, Germantown Grill, Daisy Mays Gaming Cafe, Commerce Bank, and City Blue Technology. Well, Coach, I think that first quarter, kind of a ho-hum quarter, but overall you got to be pretty happy with it. You got 2 scores.
Yeah, you executed pretty well. You be able to run the ball. The quarterback has made some key plays.
Mm-hmm.
He's faked the counter and run the option up inside, or run the dive up inside. Throwing could be a little bit sharper, but I think that'll come. When you do it more often. I've been impressed with the defense. My gosh.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job.
28-21, peeking over Morton.
(21-6) Washington over the Dunlap Eagles. As Redbird offense comes onto the field, it'll be a second and about 1 yard for the Redbirds from their own 44-yard line. Bachmann in motion. And Bachmann gets his first varsity catch, I believe, on a little go route down the sideline. Bobbled it, brought it in, and he'll cross into Limestone territory down to the 40-yard line. Good to see that.
Yeah, he went in motion. They faked the handoff to him. Then everybody forgot about him. And he paused in the flat and then took off straight down the field. It was wide open, and Tom hit him in stride. Yeah, you got it. The more they catch, the more confidence they get.
He's worked a lot in this offseason to get that first catch. Oh, he barely stepped out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Well, he can stop and pick up his blockers and go on. And he's a full blast on the first step. He's quick.
That's a nice run by Austin Yeager down to the 24-yard line. No, that's a 23.
He uses his blockers as well as anybody I've seen. He picks them up.
Three receivers to the top screen. He hit Gatton at about the 12-yard line. Nice catch by Gatton.
Perfect throw, too. The only chance he had was to get the ball up high and let Gatton go up and get it, and he did. Good catch, good pass.
First down and inside the 15 down to I think it's the 12.
Get their horses in. 2 tight ends.
Yeager fights through it, and he's still on his feet, and he inside the 5-yard line. He just kept wiggling, and what an effort.
That was a great 5-yard run, wasn't it?
He's pretty close to a Redbird first down.
Yeah, he is.
That might be first and goal.
Yep, they're going to give it to him. Yep.
First and goal, Redbirds. 10-yard run by Yeager.
An exciting 10-yard run. (10:15 to go here in this second quarter.
And he'll get stopped, maybe about a yard loss.
Tried to get him a touchdown. Now the quarterback will probably keep it and score, huh?
Yeah, that moves it out to about the 5. That's about a 3-yard loss. John Geyer comes into the Redbird offense.
Movement.
That movement on the Redbirds' offensive line. That'll move us back 5 more. 9:24 to go. First half. And he'll be inside the 5 down to the 4.
It was a nice throw because he had a defensive linebacker in his face the whole time.
On the 4-yard line. 30 goals.
You know, a play they haven't run, I don't think, yet this year, the old double handoff.
Yeah.
That was so effective for Metamora. Yeah, you're in the backfield with Tommy. Jack Moore with the carry, and he's going to score a touchdown. He just followed Yeager into the end zone, and touchdown Redbirds. That's something we haven't seen yet.
Little jet sweep.
Vogel will come in for the extra point. Geyer comes in to snap it. Beanblossom to hold it. And Vogel to kick it. That looked a lot better there. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Redbirds up 21-0. So are you surprised at all at the 21-6 score between Washington and Dunlap?
No, I'm not. I think Washington's that much better. I wouldn't think it'd be that close at the end. I've been really impressed with Washington. I've seen them on the 7-on-7 over there, and I've seen the size of their kids and the experience that they have with the quarterback and the linemen, especially because they all played last year. And I think they're going to be awfully, awfully tough. I don't know if we'd have to play error-free football, and with Tommy, we'd have a shot. I
think so too.
Yeah, but we couldn't turn it over, or we couldn't. And our defense will be tested. Of course, we're looking ahead too many weeks here too.
That's down to about the 1-yard line. That's really good coverage by Metamora.
Yeah.
Down to about the 13-yard line. That's the perfect kick.
Yeah, you can, if you can kick it on the numbers down inside the 10 or down by the 10, then you got your whole crew can narrow their lanes and run him down. That's perfect. It really is. And you make them start there, they're going to make a mistake before they get in midfield.
High school teams do. It's hard to put together a 10-play drive,
especially when you're not that consistent to start with.
So Limestone will have it 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line.
Now they'll probably break a big play here, right?
That's through the hands. Cursa Grossa in on the coverage.
You know, they don't look sophisticated enough to go to the passing attack completely. And they can't run it real well, so where do you go? You know, you got to try to mix it up, I guess, and run your draws and your screens. We haven't seen too many screens.
Saw a draw.
Yeah, we saw a draw, and that was successful.
Yeah. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Rockets.
So right now you're grasping. You don't know where to go or what to do, and this good, sound defense is causing those problems.
And
Limestone?
Yeah, Limestone took a timeout.
I'd like to repeat our congratulations to tonight's honorary captains. Number 40, Rick Elvis, and number 30, Luke Maurer.
Coach, did you ever have a chance to see Rick Alvis and Luke Maurer play?
No, I didn't. That was the years I was gone. You know, the Alvis kid, I coached 2 Alvises over in Normal. And I bet they're related. There was a big lineman and then a real good running back. I coached both as freshmen. And because that Alvis family was famous over there. And that's where he came from over there somewhere, didn't he?
Stanford Olympia.
Yeah. So... And how big was he?
He was about 6'1", 240.
Ooh.
He was fullback, and he was a load.
He was a little bit taller Summers, huh?
Yeah.
And the other kid, what was?
Luke Maurer was about 180 pounds, just an athlete, linebacker, running back, did a lot of things, kicked extra points.
Was his brother the same way?
Yeah. There's a give up the middle, and he gets about 2 yards. Brings up a 3rd and about 9, short 9.
Is the next homecoming game? Next home game?
Next home game is, yes, homecoming against Morton. Next week we travel to Dunlap.
Right. That'll be a tester.
Yeah. These seniors have some payback against the Dunlap team. 3rd and 8.
Oh, boy.
And that's not going to turn out very well for the Rockets.
Snap.
And he'll go down at the 10 and bring up a 4th and about 11, 12, yeah. And the Redbirds should get some pretty decent field position.
Definitely.
When these seniors were freshmen and we went over there, we had a lead, I think about a 5-point lead against them with 2 seconds to go, and they threw a pass. It was incomplete, and they never started the clock.
Oh.
So they got another play, and they threw a touchdown pass.
Oh, my gosh.
Pretty decent kick. Vogel has it.
Get up inside. There you go.
And he's broken free. Down the sideline, he's picking up a convoy, and he'll go in for a touchdown, Metamora. Brian Vogel picked up a convoy of blockers, and he'll score.
Boy, he showed good quickness, didn't he? He made the first kid miss.
Oh, there's a flag down at about the 29-yard line.
He made the first tackler miss, and from then on it's a foot race with blockers in front of him.
But there's a flag down. And I'm pretty sure it's going to go against Metamora.
They're walking back, aren't they?
Block in the back. So that'll move it out to the 39-yard line. It still has some pretty good field position. 21-0 Redbirds, 6:40 to go here in the second quarter.
These guys are a little bit better than East Peoria, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they run a little bit better. They play a little bit stouter defense, if that's a word.
It is now.
And that's an offside. That'll move it up 5.
Who's offside? They're offside too.
Yeah.
But we're offside here. Our wideout jumped.
And they're going to say it's defense.
Yeah.
He jumped first.
Yeah.
And then make it a 1st and 5. Do you go downfield now?
Yeah, you got one you can play with because you're in 4-down territory.
Logan McClure gets a big hole.
That's downfield.
Yeah, that's downfield. And he'll be caught from behind at about the 6-yard line.
It's going to be tough for Limestone to keep their heads up and play hard, you know, when things go against them and score mounts.
6:32 to go. First half, Redbirds up 21-0, but they're knocking on the door. First and goal at the 6. And he'll get inside the 5, I think.
Time for Tommy Keeper.
Short gain of the play brings up second and goal.
And he'll kind of just canter into the end zone for a touchdown. Kyle Bartman with a little sweep to the left. They came back to the right the last time, and he'll score easily. Redbirds go up 27-0.
You know, they have some quickness, but they use it so wisely. They pick up their blocks so well. That's the main thing. If you can set that block up, fake in, fake out, and get up inside, it makes the blocking easier.
Vogel comes in for the extra point. Geyer and to snap it, Bean Blossom to hold. And it looks like it's right down central again. 28-0 Redbirds. 5:32 to go, first half. I got to say, I've been impressed. It hasn't been a flashy game, but we've gone out there kind of a business-like approach.
Right. You know, that's important. We're not taking a bunch of chances or anything. We're just playing good, hard-nosed football. You could come out here and take all kinds of chances. Things go wrong, and first thing you know, you get your backs up against the goal. But, no, you were right. We played good possession football, good defense. The running game's been okay, and the passing game has been better. So, yeah. And you need these types of drives to improve your confidence, or give you confidence, and improve your technique, improve your blocking, and make the kids realize that they can do it, you know.
Next dead ball. We'll go down and talk to Colton Kaler a little bit about some of the players on the football team this year.
Can you guys hear me up there all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to the end zone. We'll go down to Colton now.
Obviously, it's a little bit different this week without Drew. You know, talked with Coach Linsky before the game. You know, he said he's going to have surgery on Monday, and he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks after that. But, you know, being able to run and all that's going to be a little bit different, so we're not sure what that's going to bring. But Ben Bachmann's back this week. That's huge for the receiving game. It's going to open up the passing game even more for Thomas and the rest of the offense. Offensively, we're looking pretty good in the first half. Talked with Tommy this week about recruiting-wise, and right now, tomorrow, he will be heading to Air Force to take a visit for basketball. He'll be there through Monday, but talked with him, and he said he doesn't have much for football right now, but he's definitely keeping his options open, and he's just, you know, kind of hoping for that something comes in here quick.
Nice play by Connor Burnett. That's a real nice play by Connor Burnett.
That's a big time scholarship there, Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
Years ago, it was $250,000 they estimated. So, yeah, it's unbelievable.
No gain. Second and 10 for the Rockets. You know, the Rockets had that first play from scrimmage. They eventually fumbled it, but that was probably their biggest gain. That might be all their offense so far. Oh, and they do that.
It was perfectly thrown. He ran a good pattern. It's pretty hard to stop that kind of a route. You don't want to give them an easy 6, so you play off them a little bit and give them the underneath route. Hope that you can break it up or intercept it. Have you been out to the Air Force Academy?
I have never been.
What a great place. I took my staff out there for football spring practice, and it was yes sir, no sir, and There's a lot of fun being out there.
I'm saying that's down.
Yeah.
28-0 here late in the first half. 4:14 to go. I think they were moving. A lot of flags.
Yeah, that was the way they run counter. They pull the guard and tackle. Metamora pulls the tackle.
Oh, that's offsides on Metamora?
I guess.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Same play. You know, that happens a lot in football, and if kids would realize that, they'll run a play, they'll start the play, both guard and tackle pull, stop the play, mark the penalty off. What were they trying to run? Were you alert? Did you know that they were going to pull the guard and tackle? You should have, because that's what they did, and they come right back to it. They really do. They very same play they tried to run time before.
Oh, I like that.
No,
It was tipped. It was
tipped. The ball
tipped.
was flat hit, yeah.
The ball was tipped.
No.
Are they going to say that's targeting?
Well, then there's a possibility of being kicked out of the ball game.
Yeah.
Wave it off. Come on. Targeting. I think, well,
You can kick them out in high school, but they, wow. And he'll get pushed out. 2:35 to go.
about the 8-yard line, 9-yard line, well, more than that.
They're going to say it's
11.
a 11-yard line.
Nice run. He picked up his blocker as well, made a nice run. The defense made a nice play to save a touchdown, too. He stayed with it, didn't overcommit, ran him to the sideline, make him turn it back, and then tackle him.
Incomplete pass.
Nelson over there?
Yeah, I believe it was, yes. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Rockets. Boy, it's nice that you can start rotating some of those big linemen inside.
Yeah, stay fresh. You're going to need that down the road.
2nd down and 10.
Incomplete pass. That's a good job by the Redbird defense over there.
Definitely. The pass coverage, everybody is where they're supposed to be. Made him keep the ball too long, and then
Third and 10 for the Rockets. They can't get a first down inside the 5, down to about the 1 yard line.
Oh boy.
And they'll score a touchdown.
That was a good play call. They started right with a rollout and stopped and threw the screen back to the left. Had Metamora going with the rollout. It's a good call, good execution.
Makes it 28-7 or 6. Waiting for the extra point here. About 1:53 to go in this first half. And that's good. 28-7.
It's one of those plays that you have in your arsenal that when you need something and you're stumped, when they're stopping you, you come up with a play like that and it worked fine. You've got to have a few of those.
Well, 1:53, we'll get to see our 2-minute offense.
Do we have one?
Oh, I'm sure we do with the gunslinger like Tommy.
Should have, right. You know, all teams should have one. I've seen a lot of ball games won and lost in a 2-minute offense. Pekin 28, Morton 21. 2 minutes left in the half. Morton hasn't exactly been awesome, have they?
No, they've got a pretty good team.
Oh yeah, they
Aaron
got a good
Donald
team.
is a pretty solid quarterback. Gramp is a decent running back, and their offensive line returns from most of what they had last year.
Kreider's a good little athlete.
Vinny Corsagrosa with a carry, and he's a pretty nice return. He out past the 40 down to about the 42-yard line. So the Redbirds will have good field position at the 42-yard line. Redbird offense comes onto the field. Just run, Tommy. Wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
Put his head down and get what you get.
And Tommy will take it inside the Limestone 40-yard line down to the 36. First down, Redbirds. He had a lot of green ahead of him.
Yes, he did. He made some cuts in there too, didn't he?
And you wonder if there's something going to be here, maybe a double pass with Vinny Corsagrosa.
He's going to be quarterback.
Is Tommy hurt?
Tired, I think.
Corsagrosa will take it inside the 25 down to about the 23.
There goes Tommy.
Well, that's a nice little change of pace, isn't it?
Yeah. Didn't lose a step, did they?
Not at all.
The passing attack might have suffered a little bit. I don't know. Oh.
Did they get knocked down?
No, I don't believe it did.
51 seconds to go. First half, Redbirds up 28-7. Bachmann with a screen pass. And he'll be down at about the 12-yard line. 43 seconds to go. Metamora will take a timeout.
That was well set up. You know, they put him in motion from left to right, and he was lined up in the right slot, and he let the motion man go past him and then came underneath for the screen pass.
So Redbirds will have, they're in business now. Up 28-7, and we'll get the ball to start the second half too.
We got plenty of time to score here. What do we got? How many timeouts do we have left? 2?
I think we have 1.
1?
We took 1 before the extra point.
They have 2. That's what those timeouts really hurt, don't they?
Yeah. But we should be fine.
You can always spike it. He was hit. Years ago, I saw a manual quarterback stop the clock, raised it up, and threw it out of bounds, but it was 4th down.
I've seen that before. Remember a few years ago when Oklahoma went down to down to Missouri, and they downed it on 4th down, and but the scoreboard had 3rd down.
Oh.
And so they gave him a 5th down.
Oh.
So it's second and 10 from the 11-yard line. Yeager will.
Oh, he's close.
Touchdown, Metamora.
You gotta get everybody dropping off playing pass.
Gyron to snap it, Bean Blossom to hold, and Vogel to kick. And it's up and good. 35-7 Redbirds with 32 seconds to go. So, Coach, you go into the halftime locker room. You're up 35-7. You got to be pretty happy, but there's probably plenty there to talk to them about.
Oh, yeah, and you want to talk about how you're going to play the rest of the ball game and what your attitude is going to be. And, you know, keep your head in the ball game, don't do anything foolish, and get better at what you're doing. Work on a few things, the passing game. Let some other kids play that could be valuable as backups.
And that'll go into the end zone. That'll be another touchback. And that'll bring it out to the 20.
Peoria Central 60, Manual nothing, half.
We did that a few years ago to East Peoria, 07. We were up 60-0 at halftime.
Notre Dame 26, Rich was nothing at half. Morton took the lead at Pekin 28-21, half.
Oh, I thought Pekin was up 28-21.
Well, they got it here the other way now. 21-6, Washington at half.
So Limestone with the ball here on their 20-yard line. Connor Burnett filled awfully well. That's only about a 3-yard gain. Looked like there was going to be more there.
I think he'd just soon get in the locker room right now.
And I think that'll do it for this first half. Redbirds will go into the halftime locker room up 35-7. Take this time now to thank our sponsors again. City Blue Technologies, Commerce Bank, Daisy Mays Gaming Cafe, Germantown Grill, Hanover's Pub, Logo Wear, Mason Funeral Home, Metamora Fields Golf Club, Metamora McDonald's, Metamora IGA, Michael's Italian Feast, Sunbelt Rentals, and Snyder Village. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the first half stats and the second half. Time for the first half stats. First for Limestone rushing. Blake Fengel had 3 carries for 6 yards. Devian Nunez had 8 carries for 54 yards. And Gerald Cummings had 1 carry for 2 yards. Limestone had a total of 62 yards rushing for an average of 5.2 yards per carry. Passing, Blake Fengel was 7 for 18 for 83 yards and 1 touchdown. On the receiving end, Alex Rupp had 4 receptions for 56 yards. Ben Hibbard had 1 reception for 12 yards, and Davian Nunez had 2 receptions for 15 yards and 1 touchdown. Limestone had a total of 145 yards rushing and passing combined. They had 4 first downs rushing, 4 passing, and 1 penalty for a total of 9 first downs in the first half. They had 11 minutes and 56 seconds of time of possession. And Zach Otten had a point after kick after a touchdown. Now for Metamora. Thomas Hall had 2 carries for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. Logan McClure had 2 carries for 30 yards. Austin Yeager had 11 carries for 78 yards and 1 touchdown. Ryan Vogel had 1 carry for 3 yards. Jack Moore had 1 carry for 4 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Bartman had 1 carry for 4 yards and a touchdown. And Vinny Corsia-Grossa had 1 carry for 13 yards. Metamora had a total of 162 yards rushing for an average of 8.5 yards per carry. Passing, Thomas Hall was 7 for 13 for 135 yards and 1 touchdown. On the receiving end for Metamora, John Gatton had 4 receptions for 99 yards and 1 touchdown. Kyle Bartman had 2 receptions for 20 yards, and Ben Bachmann had 1 carry for 16 yards. Metamora had a total of 297 yards passing and rushing combined. And Thomas Hall, for point after attempts, Thomas Hall had 1 where he ran, and Ryan Vogel kicked 3 point after attempts. First downs, Metamora had 9 rushing, 5 passing for a total of 14 first downs and a first half time of possession of 12 minutes and 4 seconds. Your first half score, Metamora 35, Limestone 7. Well, welcome back to Malone Field, Coach. The Redbirds took that 35-7 lead into the halftime locker room. I would venture to say that Coach Ryan probably, it was probably a very good half for him. There were some things he was very happy about, and then some things that he needed to probably stress about. Yeah, and you don't want to get sloppy second half and pick up some bad habits. You want to stay with it. You stay with your running game and your execution. Get some more kids in the ball game. Get some more experience so that down the road they can step in and play if somebody gets hurt. It's an important second half if you use it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure Metamora will probably stick with their starters at least through 3 quarters. Yeah, for maybe at least 1 drive. And if they score in that first drive, then it might be it for some of them, Yeah. And I would look for him to get Hall out of there if they score on that first drive. And let's, he's a big part of your ball game. If he gets hurt, a lot of things can go wrong. Right. So we're about 2.5 minutes away, or exactly about 2 minutes away from the start of the third quarter. I thought, the jet sweep, they haven't done that yet at all this game or this season, and they've done it about 3 times tonight, and they've scored a couple of touchdowns off of it. some of the stuff that they've done tonight, we're seeing for the first time.
Yeah, you've got to be careful that they don't put somebody in to run a play. Like I noticed that when Bachmann went in, he pretty much knew that he went in for a reason because they went and got him on the sideline. They put him in for a reason. It was to carry the ball, and he did. He carried that little screen pass, a little bubble screen up the middle. But yeah, you can. It's a good time to work on those things and give those scouts something to look at, something that they have to prepare for every day of practice. And two, sometimes you want to run some plays that you know that will be, or you think that will be effective against a Dunlap, a Morton, or whatever coming up, and so that you've run the play, so that you know how to execute the play. Sometimes if you get in a ball game like that and you say, oh, well, I want to run this play, but we've never run it before, it's pretty tough to execute.
Yeah, and I think if you're a Dunlop scout, you got to be saying, Metamora does a lot of things.
Right, exactly. They got a lot of running backs too, and they got, who do you key? Do you key the quarterback? Well, obviously you're going to have to, but Yeager's ran the ball exceptionally well. Bartman's run better tonight. Vogel's run well tonight, caught the ball, and you can't. The receivers, Gatton has been a ton.
And they haven't even thrown the ball yet to Nelson.
Right.
And, they threw
or the
one
tight
pass.
end. Either tight end has caught the ball.
And Bachmann's got one catch.
Okay. And you need those guys to get involved, and maybe you can get them involved in the second half and catching the ball, because all that leads to experience.
And next week when Metamora travels over to Dunlap, they're going to be coming off what looks to be like a loss. To Washington.
Oh yeah.
And
how are they going to react?
How are they going to react? And Metamora will have to play against a team that's probably they're going to be licking their wounds a little bit.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think that they're used to winning now, and they lose one to Washington. They've got to win out or win most of their games to get in the playoffs. So they know that. They're going to be ready, and they know that Metamora's got a good ball club, and they know that they can play with Metamora.
Metamora will receive the second half kickoff here in just a few minutes. We'll be talking with Luke Maurer and Rick Alvis. They played on the 2000 team together that made it to the state championship game. Lost to Joliet Catholic, but those 12, that was 13 game, 14 games that they played together that year. That was a pretty special season.
Oh yeah, they've got to be enjoying that.
Thunder and lightning, and it was awfully nice. You throw in Joe Stammen into that backfield.
Oh boy, I guess I've heard all about those. I didn't get a chance to see him play, but I've heard all about them.
As Vogel and Poston back deep for the Redbirds, Limestone will squib kick. We've yet to. Can't see who that is, and that's 42. That's Aaron Zoller takes it out to the 50-yard line. Like you said, Coach, you didn't get a chance to see these guys, but Rick Alvis and Luke Maurer were both. They were awfully fun to watch, and they're both up here in the booth with us tonight. They were the honorary captains, and they were pretty fun to watch. Rick, you transferred in your sophomore year, played your junior year. Luke, you were here 4 years. That 2000 season, that was a pretty special season, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. While it lasted, it went fast. It went way too fast.
They always do. Once they start, you work all year, then that season starts before you know it's over.
Yeah.
It's. But you guys had great years. Any special moments you remember? Any favorites?
I think Rick's got a microphone deal there. I'd speak up for him though. We got to play in 2 state championships, which was pretty
unusual.
special. Yeah. My junior year and then my senior year too, and we lost both of them. But it's fun just getting there. It's the journey. And,
definitely.
We made it, and just playing. This tradition of this program is so special. I just down on the field talking to a couple of the kids playing right now, and I said, y'all don't understand how how great and how lucky you are to play for Pat
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know.
I coached him.
Right.
I go back way back.
Yeah, that's
So,
great. That's
you
great too.
know,
You're a legend around here as well.
Well, I
so.
don't know about that. But last week we had a couple of my players, a couple of my linemen, and they really enjoyed this time. And they enjoyed bringing back those moments when they played, and how much fun it was. So I'm sure you guys are too. Are you getting to see some buddies?
Yeah, I've ran into quite a few people that I saw, I went to high school with, and a couple other people that just said, hey, I saw you play in high school. And then a couple other people, a couple kids on the sideline said, what year did you graduate? I said 2001. They said, I wasn't even born yet. I said, oh man, you're really making me feel old now.
I know that feeling.
Yep.
Well, that's like on the way here, I have a 4-year-old, and he was in the back seat, and he said, Dad, how long ago were you 4 years old? And I said, 31 years ago, bud. That made me feel real great.
I used to coach a couple Alvises over in Normal.
You probably
Rick.
did. Rich
And Steve.
Yep, that's my dad was Rich.
Really?
Yeah, and my uncle Steve.
Really? Yeah. Steve was fast.
Yeah.
And Rich was big.
Yeah, he was 240 pounds, I think.
Yeah,
and
I just had him as freshmen. I was at Chittix Junior High School for
Okay.
a couple years. Mike Wells and that group, Yeah, I had some good players over there. They had some good players.
Small world.
Yeah, it is. It is. So,
Rick, you came to Metamora from Olympia. That was probably a big change, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You come, having a crowd of about 500 people, and then came to my first Metamora game. Came out running. Let's see who we play.
Belleville Altoff.
Yeah, Belleville Altoff. Came out on the field, looked up in the stands, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
I mean, the whole
Yeah.
town was here. It
Yeah,
was
that's
awesome.
right.
This
That's
is
right.
one of the greatest feelings.
My first game was over at Lexington. And I was in there, we were warming up, and 11 buses of Metamora kids were going, what is this? Where am I? So,
Yeah, it was. It's quite the difference. And,
Yes, it is.
I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world. We made an awesome decision moving here.
Uh-huh.
Got to play with guys like Luke and Joe, and I mean, the list goes on and on.
It was
Sure.
great to have you. I can assure you that.
it finished it, didn't it?
You had an offensive line that averaged, close to 300 pounds?
Yeah, they were big, so it was easy for me just to run behind them. I mean,
Did you both play defense?
Luke
Yeah,
did.
I played. I was a linebacker as well.
Okay.
My senior year. And
Okay.
then I returned punts, kickoffs, kick extra points if I needed to.
Now, your brother played too, didn't he?
Yeah, my older brother played in 90. I think it was 98.
Okay.
Then he went on to play at Eastern.
Okay.
Played linebacker down there, walked on, and did well.
Yeah.
I was kind of just a one-hit wonder. I just played offense.
Did you do anything when you were done here?
I went to Northern.
Okay.
Redshirted up there.
Okay.
Then I transferred to Illinois Wesleyan. Started freshman, sophomore year.
Okay.
Ended up tearing the ligament off the bone in my ankle. So I decided to call her quits
Yeah,
after that.
that's time.
So, yeah.
Everybody runs into that time.
Yeah,
really.
unfortunately.
You'd like to do it forever, but you can't.
Right. And I learned that pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we at 40 yet?
Vogel scores on a sweep, makes it 42-7. What was the biggest game you guys played in, other than the state championship game? What was one of the biggest games you guys played in?
So
I would say Richwoods.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to play in that game. Unfortunately, which I wanted to reiterate to these guys out here is to always play every play like it's your last play, because the 9th week of the season I went down, with the ACL tear and meniscus tear in the knee, and that was the last time I got to go out on the field. But I had surgery, and then I got to come back and watch these guys play Richwoods, and that was, at the time, I know we've had some great games since then, but that was one exciting game to watch.
Oh, that was a barn burner, and they got it down deep into our territory. And I think you guys actually put Joe Stam in on defense to bat some, because they had some tall receivers. And I think he got a deflection late in the game. I think one of the loudest roars I've ever heard is, I think Zach Bittner got a big sack. And
on their quarterback, yeah. I think they had Joe Brereton was their quarterback. He was
Joe Brereton, yeah.
He was a stud for them. He went both ways. He played quarterback and he was a linebacker.
Yeah.
Just kind of a unique combination, but he could definitely do it. He handled it pretty well.
What about for you, Rick? What was?
I would say that Richwood's probably also Geneseo
Oh.
of that year.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't even mention him.
He had the thing I remember in the Geneseo game is Ryan Vogel gets ready to kick it off here, but the play I remember the most was he had I think he had about 4. Well, you broke at least 4 tackles, and I think he carried one guy down to about the 1 yard line.
I scored.
You scored.
Yeah, don't sell me short.
Yeah, I think and he was kind of a one-man wrecking crew. Yeah, that game. It was kind of men against boys. Geneseo was pretty good, but man, did that was he able to kind of dominate that game from the running back position. Man, that was a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, that was probably up there for me. My least favorite was, of course, Morris.
Yeah, your senior year, the Fog Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was was still a barn burner, though.
There's been some great backs come through this school. You can imagine the McKinneys, and then before that, the Summers and you guys, and you can go on and on about some of
Jeff
the
Selberg.
Yeah, Selberg was. If he stayed healthy, he'd have been as good as any of them. Yeah. So there were some great backs.
And that's one of the things that's great about the tradition here is that, you grow up watching some of these great backs. I know when I was little, it was Andy Reeb, it was Chris Johnson, it was Jason Zobrist, it was Brett Aberle. You grow up and you want to be those kids, so you're in the yard pretending you're them, and then all of a sudden it's your turn to put the jersey on, and you want to be every bit as good as what as they were, and you just
it seems to go on consistently too. Once in a while you hit a down year or two, but mostly somebody comes up. Sometimes you don't even know who they are, and they come up and they're great running backs.
Well, and that all goes back to Coach Pat as well.
Sure.
And his staff.
Oh yeah.
I think one of Pat Ryan's favorite stories is about you, Luke, when you were about third or fourth grade.
I was in 3rd grade. Yeah, that is a great story. I was I don't know what I was doing, but some reason I was at the high school, and
you said you came to most of the practices.
I would show up, and I just I wanted to watch, or I'd run sprints with the team at the end. And
3rd or 4th grade.
One time he made the mistake of coming over to a 3rd grader and saying, "And if we just had some pads, we could throw you in there." And I said, "Well, I got enough pads at home." I said, I'm going to be here tomorrow. And so I got out of school. I put on what pads I had, and I rode my bike up to practice, and I came running out, and I remember Bob Schlimmer tells that story, and he says, "We got an interception there." You score it?
No, that's Zach Poston with the interception. Takes it down to the 4 yard line, but that's a heck of a play by the Redbird defense. Go ahead.
So Bob Schlimmer looks at Pat. He says, "Now what are you going to do?" and so Pat says, "Well, we got to put him in there." So they put me in on defense, and they threw a pass and let me make a tackle, and that's just something that's special about.
Yeah.
This Metamora is all I know, but that doesn't happen at a lot of towns. That's not going to happen.
We had the tearaway jerseys.
Sure.
And those little kids after the ball game, everyone, they would grab them, take them home, and sew them up and wear them the next time. So there's always something,
I was one of those little kids. I used to camp outside the locker room and wait for.
Did you get a Summers jersey?
Yes, I did. It's hanging up in my basement. Zach Poston with a touchdown, and that'll get the clock rolling. Redbirds go up 48-7.
Now, this has just been a really good experience. It's quite an honor to come back here. It's been really fun just to be around Metamora football again. I love that, there's some new things that, the uniforms they look great. The new scoreboard. I really like the bringing in the American flag and running that out. That was really something special to me. I went in the military after high school, and it's just cool to see, your hometown supporting America like that. It's something special to me. So,
you guys both have kids too, don't you?
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old.
I've got a 4 and a 3-year-old. So
boys.
2 boys, yes.
Yeah.
My youngest was crying because I wouldn't let him get out on the field while they were playing. So he was upset. He wants to get out there and get going. So.
Do you live around here?
We live in Elmwood.
Oh, Elmwood. I coached there a year, too.
Did you?
I've been everywhere.
I was going to say, we'll try to find a school you haven't been.
Can't.
Yeah, jeepers, man. Yeah. Well, what year did you start coaching here?
Here?
Yeah, here is
70. It was the first
74.
74 was the first year of the state tournament, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we were second year we won it.
right.
So in the third year we were second. Next year we were second. So yeah, I came here from East Peoria High School. I was only there 1 year. I was at Woodruff where we lost 48 in a row. So everybody says, "Well, you don't know what it is to lose." I said, "Wait a minute."
Well, you definitely started something here. You got the ball rolling here, and
it was before me. Marty Stromberger had it going. I was fortunate enough that they started the playoffs. And that's where I hit it lucky, But Marty won a lot of ball games here too, so it's carried on before me. Then I had a lot of good kids like Pat Ryan, and those guys. They were good. I mean, Pat was a great quarterback. We were number 1 in the state for 9 weeks, and we got beat by Morris out here. And Pat, we played then Wednesday night and then immediately Saturday. And on Wednesday night up at Rock Ridge, Pat had a badly sprained ankle. Well, we're an option team. And our quarterback can't run. He tried to play, but we just couldn't go.
see where that would be problematic.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of fun to watch. This is like no Metamora team I've ever gotten to see.
Right, shotgun.
The shotgun offense, and then Thomas Hall just
the ball,
peppering the ball to these receivers. I mean, number one.
I wouldn't have been able to play in this offense.
Yeah.
They'd have found a place for you.
I would have been left out.
You could have blocked.
Yeah, I probably would have been a guard.
It's impressive. I'm really impressed with what they're doing. It's going to be fun to watch how they develop throughout the year here, and we're going to have some big games coming up.
Well, that's the fun thing about high school football is you do what your players allow you to do. And when you can make those adjustments, you're successful.
Right. I don't think we would have really had the team to run this offense.
Right. Probably we didn't.
Well, yeah, that's...
We never had it when I was here either. We had one quarterback, Martell, who could throw the ball, but we had such good backs, and he could run, so we ran the option.
Right.
Now, when you guys are coming over tonight, I know you brought your kids. Your kids are not in town.
Right.
But do they know, that do they know that you guys were heroes for a lot of little kids about their age?
Mine don't. They're too young, I think. They like to play Madden, and they like to be the Arizona Cardinals. Now that they know that Dad was a Metamora Redbird, so that's how they associate it with. So, not really. But I do have a lot of the game film.
Oh, that's cool.
From when we played. So hopefully, when they get a little bit older, let them watch and come up with their own narratives for it.
That is one of my older brother's favorite things to do. When he gets home at night, he'll put on some game film and narrate it for you.
Because it is once a bird, always a bird.
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
Oh, shoot.
I got to just comment, too. A field looks absolutely amazing. I was teasing Kurt earlier about it, but that's not something that you see either at most high schools.
Do you remember Bishop McNamara's field?
I recall it, yes. There's a lot of dirt on that field.
Oh, yeah. We played on that field, too.
Same field?
Yeah. We had an unusual happening on that field. We were this year we won the state. We were only behind once all year in that game. And we got close to them. We kicked off. They had an all-state running back, a tremendous ball player. He let the ball roll dead on the 4-yard line, and we got him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Here's a kid of all state. I mean, he was as good as it gets, and he just let it roll dead. And we went down there and fell on it and scored and went ahead.
Nice.
Didn't turn back. You guys would have enjoyed our game in East St. Louis. That would have been fun. Yeah. You'd have really enjoyed that.
I've heard plenty of stories about that.
Oh yeah,
that
definitely.
Game.
That would definitely. But it took a Metamora type ball club to win that ball game. A disciplined ball club that played hard and didn't take chances. Always knew where they're supposed to be. And we weren't big, 172, 175 pound tackles. And,
that was when the legend of Larry Summers.
Oh yeah, that's
the game, right?
Grew, yeah. they had a picture of their defense in the St. Louis paper the day before, and they said they called themselves the Mean Dudes. They said the Mean Dudes ain't gonna let Larry Summers get no 50 yards. He had 156.
Well, they were right.
They were. But that's all. Those are all the good things that Metamora has to offer. They talk about you moved over here and about recruiting. Well, shoot, you don't have to recruit. You run your program, you do it right, people will come.
Absolutely. Nobody ever contacted me or anything.
Right.
It was actually a funny story. My sophomore year, I wanted to get out of Olympia, and so my dad went to Normal Community. And so Metamora was actually playing Normal Community in the semifinals that year. And I said, okay, whoever wins this game, that's where I'll go. Because my parents were cool. They were going to let me go wherever I wanted to transfer.
We made that an easy decision
you
for you.
did. You sure did. I remember going to the game and I'm, just watching. I'm like, that's the place for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then the rest was
When
history,
I was at Carbondale for a few years down there, and I had the best quarterback in the South walked in as a junior. They said, you were recruiting? I said, no, I didn't. No, you build your program, you do it the right way, people will come.
Absolutely.
Man, it is good to see you guys again, and it was awful nice to hear your names announced, number 30 and number 40.
It's been quite an honor. I'm really just so excited to be back here. It's been great. Couldn't be more proud to have been a Redbird, and even I guess it's been about 17 years. You still get a cheer. So
still get chills too.
Yeah, that's
down there.
Yeah.
Man, that's great.
You guys get to come back to many games?
I haven't been back I haven't seen a couple. It's been a couple years. I try to make one a year at least, and then if we get to the playoffs, I try to get to some of those. But
the last game, I think, Metamora game I saw was the state championship game.
09?
Yes. Yeah.
That's
so
a
it's
good
been a
game.
while.
I'll definitely be back for it would be week 8. I'm going to come back, and we're going to be ready to roll on that one. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh man.
I don't know how many people will be here, but I'm going to say
a few.
There'll be a few thousand.
50-50 that night will be big.
Yeah, that'll be a pretty solid 50-50.
Hit Johnny Weber up again for those.
Well, again, thank you guys.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you guys coming.
It was nice talking to you guys. I wish I'd had a chance to coach you.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
We're getting down to the end of the third quarter, and boy, that was awful fun seeing those guys once again, and getting a chance to talk to them too like that is.
Good character people.
Oh yeah, they were. I'm telling you, Coach, there was like thunder and lightning, and then you throw Joe Stam, who could run the ball in that mix.
Yeah.
Ooh. That'll be the end of the third quarter. Time to thank our sponsors: City Blue Technologies, Commerce Bank, Daisy Mays Gaming Cafe, Germantown Grill, Hanover Pub, Logo Wear, Mason Funeral Homes, Metamora Fields Golf Club, Metamora McDonald's, Metamora IGA, Michael's Italian Feast, Sunbelt Rentals, and Snyder Village. As we get ready to start this fourth quarter, running clock, 49-7. A little bit, we'll have a couple more minutes. We'll have a talk with Colton Kaler down on the sidelines. He had a chance to talk to Coach Grebner at halftime. We had to use his microphone when we interviewed Rick Alvis and Luke Maurer, but we'll get an update from him. We had a chance to talk to the Metamora defensive coordinator at halftime.
We have 2 more home games after this.
We've got Morton. We got 3 more. We got Morton, Washington, and Canton.
Okay, you got the homecoming crowd. Who else? You got Seckler and Bartell. Who are the others?
Then for homecoming against Morton, it'll be Dick Hartman and Steve Shupp, the captains of the 66 team that's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right. Now who's the third one?
And then the third one is, that one's still up in the air. We've got a couple ideas yet for that one.
Well, good.
So Limestone gets a first down. Clock keeps on running. Metamora making a lot of substitutions, getting a lot of kids into the game. As we close in on 10 minutes to go in this ball game, Redbird's comfortably up on the Rockets, 49-7. Brings up a second and about 7. Ball's out of bounds.
Intended receiver, Nathan Thornton. Metamora coverage, Connor Lopez.
Just under 10 minutes to go. It's up a third and about 7 for the Rockets. He gave ground. And it looks like Clay Keysweater will recover it out at about the 35-yard line. I believe that was Clay Keysweater recovered it. Caleb Walsh, I believe, was the guy that forced the turnover. You know, he had given ground. I don't think he was going to get any kind of a gain.
No, I think he's planning on outrunning everybody, and it didn't happen. You know, people ran him down from the inside.
Zach Beanblossom comes in to the Redbird with the Redbird offense, along with I think Allred, the ball carrier. He had a nice game last week against East Peoria, and he picks up a nice 5-yard gain there.
What year is he now?
He's a senior. Be nice to see this group of kids go down and get a score.
Oh yeah, be good for them too. You know, you need something like that, pick you up, and then you practice harder, and you're more part of the team.
8 minutes to go in the ball game. Metamora will go to 4-0. They're 2-0 in the Mid-Illini.
Looks like Morton and Washington are kind of separating themselves from the rest of the conference.
A little bit, along with Metamora.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Brings up a third and about 3.
I think the Dunlap game would be a big ball game. A big ball game. See what we got and where we are.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think we're very, very capable of beating them.
Oh, I think so too.
I think we need to be the favorite.
Oh, without question, I think so too.
But have we been tested? You know, that's the thing.
Well,
you look back at Rock Island, that's your only true test, I guess, at this point in time.
Right. And I think you can say the same thing about Dunlap. They've played one good team, that's Washington.
Yeah, that's true.
And right now they're getting beat 35-6. But it's a 3rd and 8. And Zach Beanblossom with a nice carry up close to the 50-yard line.
Show a little quickness.
Right at 6 minutes to go in the ball game.
Keep it going. You know, we've been able to play these 4 games too without too many injuries, which helps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another hard run by Allred. He's done a nice job.
Allred.
He takes it inside the 45 down to about the 44-yard line. Just about 5 minutes to go. One thing about Morton, they scored 54, but they gave up 35.
Yeah, they're definitely an offensive ball club. There may be some kids that are playing one way that will play both ways back then. About then too, you don't know. Schedule sets up pretty good. If we just play good football, then we'll go into that Washington ball game and ready to play.
Austin Asbury with a nice run. And he'll get a Redbird first down inside the 40 down to the 39.
Got a whole arsenal of running backs.
Yeah, stable.
Stable, okay.
Oh, Beanblossom with a keeper. That was a heck of a fake.
It was. He had the end chasing inside. Oh, just
actually,
short.
That's not Beanblossom. That's number 6. Oh, that is Zach Beanblossom. My mistake. That's Zach Beanblossom. That's a real nice play. They're going to call another penalty? A hold against Limestone. We'll decline it, and we'll get the ball inside the 10. So the Redbirds will have it on the 2 with 2:47 to go. And you know what? I think, you know, people say, well, we'll take a knee. Yeah, these kids deserve to score just as much as the...
Yeah, you're kind of caught there. They practice hard. You know, shouldn't they be allowed to? Different coaches have different philosophies.
And it's like Asbury's in for the touchdown. That's a nice. He's happy. That's a big play for him.
Yeah.
Trace Melody comes in for the extra point. 55-7 Redbirds. And it's good. 56-7 Redbirds with 2:20 to go here in the ball game.
You know, this day and age, more and more people are scoring points. Look at Peoria Central in some of these games. And I think it's being more and more accepted that, hey, these kids practice hard. They play hard all week. And they deserve to have a chance to score.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple ways of looking at it. You know, if you're looking on this side looks good, you're over there on that side, then, they don't need to score 50.
So next week the Redbirds travel to Dunlap. Now Dunlap's got a 3-game winning streak against us.
Yeah. It's I say they've got the confidence to give us a ball game. Now, are they beaten up? Are they down because of the Washington ball game? How are they going to accept that? You know.
And you know when the kids at the beginning of the year they had 3 games scheduled, 3 games circled. It was Dunlap because these kids have never beaten Dunlap. They circled the Morton game because they beat them last year. Morton beat us last year. And, of course, Washington.
Yeah.
Kick returned by Dustin George.
Metamora will have the ball. Or, excuse me, Limestone will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
The clock running.
And the clock is running. It's under 2 minutes. We got 1:50 to go. Well, you know, we keep building steam.
You know, this is part of the game people don't see either. Is we've got probably our 3rd or 4th teamers in there now. They've got a lot of first stringers in there now.
Yeah.
And if you want me to sub, then you'd better sub. The way I always looked at it. Because this kid's getting, okay, you got 15 tackles in this ball game. Well, maybe 8 of them against the 3rd or 4th team. Well, that's not,
Nice play by Parker Kaufman there.
That doesn't make them all conference.
That's Peter Kaufman. Excuse me, Peter Kaufman made a nice play. Yeah, you're right. And you always wonder, teams, you don't get better if you don't play those kids. And when you're getting beat this badly.
Yeah. Well, they say, I've heard them argue that it's making us a better ball club to beat our 3rd teamers, to beat our 4th teamers.
Yeah, but that's a team that's continually trying to catch up.
Yeah, and they're not.
Oh, that's good defense right there. I can't see who that is at the bottom of the pile. That's Walsh again. He's done a nice job.
"13 seconds.
And that'll probably do it. Redbirds will go to 4-0, Coach.
Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. There'll be 2-0 in the Mid-Atlantic Conference. Well, I'm looking forward to next week in Dunlap.
Definitely. 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. 7:30 kickoff. But yep, we'll be back in just a few minutes with the end of the game stats and a chat with a happy head coach Pat Ryan.
Okay, now it's time for the end of the game stats. First for Limestone. Blake Fingal had 3 carries for 6 yards. Davian Nunez had 11 carries for 58 yards. Gerald Cummings had 2 carries for 7 yards. Cole Tanner had 1 carry for 1 yard, and Kai Green had 1 carry for 1 yard. Limestone had a total of 73 yards rushing for an average of 4.1 yard per carry. Passing, Blake Fingal was 12 out of 28 and 1 interception for 142 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving, Alex Rupp had 6 receptions for 6 yards. Ben Hibbard had 1 reception for 12 yards. Davian Nunez had 3 receptions for 20 yards and 1 touchdown. Jack Otten had 1 reception for 8 yards, and Nathan Thornton had 1 reception for 39 yards. Limestone had a total of 215 yards passing and rushing. First downs, Limestone had 5 rushing and 7 passing and 1 from a penalty. The second half time of possession was 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Now for Metamora. Thomas Hall had 2 carries for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. Logan McClure had 1 carry for 30 yards. Austin Yeager had 11 carries for 78 yards and 1 touchdown. Ryan Vogel had 1 carry for 3 yards. Jack Moore had 1 carry for 4 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Bartman had 1 carry for 4 yards and a touchdown. Vinny Corsia-Grossa had 1 carry for 13 yards. Zach Poston had 2 carries for 3 yards and a touchdown. Zach Beanblossom had 2 carries for 14 yards. Matthew Arrett had 3 carries for 50 yards. And Austin Asbury had 3 carries for 13 yards and 1 touchdown. Metamora had a total of 242 yards rushing for an average of 8.6 yards per carry. Passing, Thomas Hall was 10 for 18 for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the receiving end, John Gatton had 4 receptions for 99 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Bartman had 2 receptions for 20 yards. Ben Bachmann had 1 reception for 16 yards. Jack Moore had 1 reception for 11 yards. Logan McClure had 1 reception for 22 yards, and Ryan Vogel had 1 reception for 33 yards and a touchdown. Metamora had a total of 443 yards total rushing and passing. Extra points, Thomas Hall had ran 1 in for an extra point. Ryan Vogel kicked 4 extra points, and Trace Melody also kicked an extra point. First downs rushing, Metamora had 12, and they had 7 first downs passing. Their second half time of possession was 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Your final score, Metamora 56, Limestone 7.
Welcome back to Metamora. We're here with Metamora head coach Pat Ryan. Coach, this was like a businessman's approach tonight. You just came out and kind of took it to him, and nothing overwhelming, just kind of went at him.
Well, and the nice thing was they popped one right out the bat, and we talk about we're spending a lot more time on knocking balls, doing the strips things, and we got that ball out because the kid made a nice run. And turning it, we talk about momentum all the time and how important it is when you get it to really take advantage of it. And I think our guys understand how important that momentum thing is. And they had some times where their quarterback's a good athlete, and they got a couple guys that the little guy can go catch it and the big guy can go catch it. So, defensively, other than just a couple of plays, we played really well. We played really well because I think they're capable of scoring some points. They've scored some points on. When we saw them play LP, offensively they looked pretty good. And defensively, they did a nice job with their secondary against our run early. And, that's pretty gutsy considering we have the ability to go over the top, which we eventually did. But, we had several guys make plays, no question about it. John Gatton probably had his best game. And I don't think he felt like he played real good last week. So, you like to see a guy bounce back and, not get down on himself and come back and play. And that's a good motto. Up front, we're doing a pretty good job. I think they're decent up front. They were doing a lot of diving at us and those kind of things. And then, our kicking game's such an asset. Ryan, when you put it in the end zone all the time and keep the field long, even if the team gets a first down, they're still, they're not in 4-down territory. It's a completely different game when you play it on your side of the field.
And I thought, one of the balls that he didn't kick into the end zone, he put at the 1-yard line, and you guys had great coverage. You got him at the 11.
John Geyer made a great tackle there. John Geyer is a senior that when his number's called, he's a full throttle guy. He's our snapper, our long snapper.
Yep.
So those are the kind of integral things you need kids, the buy-in. And I tell you what, our guys really are enthusiastic towards one another. and they're excited when guys make play. When Poston made that interception, which was a really nice break on the ball, I think the sideline would have been extremely upset if we wouldn't have got him the ball on the next play, because he kind of earned that one.
Yeah, I think that's our first interception of the year, isn't it?
No, we've had one. We had one last week.
Oh, that's
Gatton
right.
Yes. So no, that was his though. Tommy did another good job. He's not gonna throw 30 out of 30 because people are gonna cover, and that's just the nature of the beast. But again, Barty caught some passes, and Ben Bachmann, getting him back, really excited to have him back out and playing. And there were certainly a lot of positives. Tommy got the wind knocked out of him. Vinny comes in and runs a play and almost breaks it right off the bat.
Yeah.
So things are going good. I think our kids understand that the price of victory is going to go up a little bit. Even though Dunlap lost to Washington, Washington's the big dog favorite right now. So who knows how many teams they're going to be capable of doing that to. But I do know this: Dunlap's still a good football team, and I do see Dunlap being a playoff team.
Yeah, they're good enough to be that. They're probably not like what they were last year. There's no Luke Benioff, who I still say is the best player I've seen in the middle line. I didn't have a black helmet on.
He was the best player in our league last year for sure. I just don't know if there was anybody that was more impacting. Now, next level, that's a whole nother ball game. But in our league, what we saw him capable of doing. But they're still capable. The quarterback's good. They got a couple running backs. Teague does, and Teague, yeah. I mean, he's been hobbled a little bit. He's got a little bit of a knee injury, but he's still a big time player, Scott. There's no question about that. And so we'll have to see. The thing is, you got to decide how much you have to commit to keep him in check. And then they've got another big receiver now. So it'll be another challenge. But I think our kids will be excited to go over and play and just see how we stack up against a team that was in the state championship last year.
Yeah, and from what I understand, your kids kind of have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder towards Dunlap because they kind of feel like they got the bad end of the stick when they were freshmen.
Yeah, they've had some weird things. I tell you what, we felt that way too a couple of years ago when Jacob Mitchell was senior. We had everything under control at halftime, and then we just really dropped an egg. And then the next year we came here and we were marching and doing fine, and we had two just horrendous snaps on drives that took us out of drives and ended up costing us the game. And then, of course, last year they just pounded us. I mean, there's no question. They were kind. They could have beat us worse than they did. So, we know we're going to have to play at a high level now. We're going into the gauntlet, and I think the next 4 teams we play are teams that are going to feel like they have a legitimate shot. I mean, one of them may certainly feel like they got a legitimate shot to win it all, but I think that the other guys are going to feel like they're playoff worthy and maybe make a little bit of a run. So that's where we're at.
Well, Coach, it was nice to see Rick Alvis and Luke Maurer.
Oh, man, they look great. Ricky said we'd have to be inside the 10, but he thought he could get us in if we got inside the 10. Any runs over 10 he couldn't guarantee. And Luke, he wasn't committing. I think he said, well, we'll give Ricky the carry. So
yeah, Ricky looks like he could still carry the ball.
Yeah, he's right, absolutely. So no, what a fun idea, and I appreciate you thinking of that and bringing guys back and recognizing our guys that have played in our program and been such impact guys. And I heard, when they introduced Luke Maurer, so funny, I can remember so many times standing on that sideline and Luke would get the ball and you'd hear that, Luke.
Yeah.
And so, it's fun to have those memories. And Luke said, he really enjoyed it. It's fun to come back.
Sure it is. Sure it is. Get your name announced one more time.
Yeah, sure. And these guys are good guys that we've got, our kids, and they, they kind of know, and they're respective of those things, so they appreciate it too. So
nice night to win.
Yeah, I mean, our crowds, I'll tell you, that student body is really something. All my years here, I've never seen anything like that before. So, and our crowds, our folks are coming out, and so it was a little warm tonight, but we really did. We had a really nice crowd, and it's fun when you play well at Malone in front of a lot of people. I mean, it's a pride thing here, and you feel like you're holding up your end of the bargain when you play well in Malone.
Yeah, and you're right. It's nice to be 4-0.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for a better start, but I think the thing that we're going to continue to harp on is we don't want our best games to be the first month of the season. We got to continue to get better, continue to build our depth, and so that if something happens, we're next man in. Just like Vinny jumped in there when Tommy got the wind knocked out of him. So
If you know, like a 14-yard pickup.
Yeah. So I think we're ready to move forward, and we'll be locked in, and hopefully we have our best week of practice.
Well, Coach, we'll let you get going. Congratulations again, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, Scott. Thank you.
Thanks. That'll do it from Malone Field. Redbirds win 56-7.